Welcome travellers, let's see where we can go this week. Beijing, formerly known as Peking, capital of China, the Middle Kingdom, the heart of the latest of history's economic and military superpowers. A city awash with tradition and modernity. A city drowning in mega-project engineering, both old and new. At the centre of this great ancient metropolis is the Forbidden City, a former palace complex of successive imperial rulers. It was originally constructed between 1406 and 1420, during the reign of Emperor Di, and currently consists of 980 surviving buildings, though the original complex was significantly greater. None of the individual buildings are especially large, nor did they require revolutionary engineering, but they did require a total of 1 million workers to complete. Entry is through the Tiananmen Gate, famous for the portrait of Chairman Mao, and among the grandest buildings are the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the Hall of Central Harmony, and the Palace of Supreme Heavenly Purity. Outside is Tiananmen Square, the fourth largest city square in the world. Located around it are the National Museum of China, the Great Hall of the People, the Zhengyanmen, the Mausoleum of Mao Zedong, and, within the square, the Monument to the People's Heroes. Usually a scene of typically spectacular national parades, it is most famous for the violent clampdown of pro-democracy protests in 1989, an event which is still a no-no for discussion in the country. On the south side of the square is the Qianmen district, a recently restored traditional area that is now home to all the accoutrements of a tourist trap. To the north of the Forbidden City is Beijing Park, site of the Tianfu Temple, the Nine Dragon Wall, and the exquisite White Dagoba. Nearby is the Temple of Heaven, once the heart of imperial religious observance. It was built in the Ming Dynasty and is one of the largest temple complexes in China. Here the emperor would make sacrifices and offer prayers at the winter solstice, in the hope that the ancestors would grant the land a good harvest. Then there's the Summer Palace. This imperial retreat dates from the 12th century, but it wasn't until the Qianlong Emperor that it became a major royal home, and its current look is primarily down to the Dowager Empress Shi in the 19th century. The site is dominated by Longevity Hill and Kunming Lake, the latter of which freezes over in winter to give an extra special perspective to the regal opulence. The complex is home to various exhibitions of imperial life and wealth too. Most famously though, the city is the starting point to visit the Great Wall of China. Contrary to popular belief, it was not built in one single go, nor does its current look date from its origins in the 3rd century BC, nor was it very effective at keeping out invaders. The site of Baijing is arguably the most famous, displaying the classic look that dates from the late medieval period. Parts of it in remote areas are still earthen rather than stone. It's a very misunderstood site. Impressive though it is, it's still just a very big wall, one that failed to keep out the enemy. Tradition is strong in Beijing, but modernity is the real ruler of the roost. Chaoyang is a financial district of the city, and contains some of the most impressive examples of modern architecture in the world. Top of the list is the CCT headquarters. Home of the state broadcaster, it's one of the most impossible looking buildings in the world, with its leaning attitude and crazy overhang. One can only marvel at the fortitude of the people who work in the upper forward offices. Close by is Beijing World Trade Center Tower 3, one of the many super tall skyscrapers that are currently springing up around the nation. The roads are more like full-blown motorways running through the middle of the city, so the area can often seem a bit empty and dead, despite being as vibrant, populated and busy as Wall Street or the City of London. Nightlife can be found in Tiananmen and in Bar Street, one of those western-oriented districts that can be found all over Asia. My favourite bar is in neither though. It's called the World of Suzy Wong and tries to recapture the atmosphere of China in its fashionable heyday of the 20s and 30s. There's also the world-famous Beijing Zoo with its unequal population of pandas, and visitors can also indulge in the spectacular architecture of the Olympic site with the Bird's Nest Stadium and the Water Cube swimming arena. Beijing is very different to Shanghai. When I was in Shanghai I wasn't happy. I was constantly being harassed by young women trying to hang out with me, probably for a free night partying, and guys trying to sell me stuff like Mont Blanc paintings, Rolex watches and girls. It got me pretty depressed, but Beijing cheered me up. The only hassle I had to deal with were people trying to get photos with me, and I gladly obliged. I love China and I love Beijing. It's super vast and can be overpowering, but it's not stifling and enclosing like many big cities in the West can be. People made it a great experience for sure, which is why it's one of the few places I've visited more than once. Go there, go now.